You're with Julian on the Brown Note and the truth about Hunter Biden's laptop. Now, the news media from the right, and every piece I've done on the show has been related to the news media's coverage of certain issues and complete blind oblivience, apparently, to everything else, has certainly focused an awful lot on the fact that Hunter Biden used his dad's position to garner millions from Ukraine or wherever it was, and there was a laptop scandal which was apparently covered up to the extent the entire world was talking about it, and has done for many years. And even after hearing this, the same people that wanted to believe all of this will carry on believing all of it. But did you know that that was recently proven to have all been made up by somebody sentenced days ago to 6 years in prison for lying? And do you care? You probably don't care if you wanted that to be true. We've seen Hunter Biden being used as a political scapegoat for years, and ironically convicted of owning a gun whilst being a drug addict. So one of the least Republican charges you could possibly get is owning a gun illegally. And again for tax evasion. For not paying enough tax. But nothing to do with corruption, nothing to do with these multinational corruption million-dollar deals that were apparently happening with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. Have you heard of Alexander Smirnov? He confessed last month in a trial where he was being prosecuted for making the whole thing up. He confessed, and a few days ago was sentenced to 6 years in jail. Now, how much press has that got? Let's have a look at this guy. Alexander Smirnov, an Israeli-American former informant of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, who was charged and eventually pled guilty to lying to the FBI and creating false records regarding the Biden-Ukraine conspiracy theory. He is on record in court confessing to creating all of this. But you probably still believe it. Alexander Smirnov came into trouble legally in 2013 after he failed to repay $100,000 of a credit card debt. He borrowed $500,000 from Encino, an Encino-based firm, D&D Marketing, and was sued when he didn't repay that. He was also sued in 2016 when two men claimed that he had sold them fake stock certificates. Prosecutors had asked for Smirnov, a dual US-Israeli citizen, to be held without bail, arguing he's no ties to Vegas but does have contacts with the Russian intelligence agencies. Let's see now. Russian intelligence, an operative who had connections with Russian intelligence promoting a story about the Bidens being massively corrupt in Ukraine. In December 2023, the legal filing says Mr. Smirnov attended an overseas meeting with a high-ranking member of a specific Russian Foreign Intelligence Service. On Feb 14 last year, Smirnov was returning from the US from abroad and was arrested by the FBI, who he was an informant for already. Smirnov, a dual US-Israeli citizen, had both an Israeli passport and a US, and was charged with lying to the FBI, facing a maximum of 25 years in prison. On Feb 20, a magistrate in Smirnov's home state of Nevada ordered him to be released with a GPS monitor. However, they had him rearrested on the grounds that his release would likely lead to him absconding. Who the hell granted him a release? In 2020, Smirnov was paid $600,000 by Economic Transformation Technologies, prosecutors said. That same year, Smirnov began lying to the FBI about the Bidens. According to the indictment, two of the ETT's three owners, Shalal M. Khan, Farouk Arjomand, along with their associate DAMAC Properties Chairman Hussein Sajwani, are friends of or have done business with Donald Trump. Seen that in the news? They paid him $600,000 to lie about the Bidens. Seen it in the news? Prosecutors claim Smirnov did not disclose to the authorities that he and his significant other had access to more than $6 million. In December 2024, Smirnov pled guilty to one count of lying to the FBI and was sentenced to 6 years in jail for making the whole thing up whilst having ties to businessmen that worked with Donald Trump, the Russian intelligence and the Israeli operations to attack Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. And how much was that reported in the news? This has happened days ago. Everyone's ignored it. And I can guarantee you the same people that said, oh, Hunter Biden's laptop, ooh, big cover-up. It wasn't. Facebook and Teletubby are both saying, you know, oh, we were put under enormous pressure to squash the Hunter Biden laptop story. It was made up. You did well, because it was garbage. And the guy that did it, who was paid 600 grand to do it, for the behest of the Russian intelligence agency, is now serving a jail term for doing so, which no one seems to care about.